If you want to save yourself an absolute fortune on bike components, check your chain wear regularly. It's really simple to do, and I'm going to show you how. So there's several tools on the market that you can use to help you quickly and efficiently ascertain how worn your chain is. A couple of examples here, there's a Park Tools one. This is a little digital gauge from Feedback Sports, quite fancy. But ultimately, whichever one you go for, they're all going to be doing the same thing, which is basically measuring the wear in between the rollers of the chain. You hear people talking about chains stretching over time, which is not strictly true. A chain doesn't stretch, all the various individual parts of it wear, and that gives the impression of it elongating. But regardless, what we're trying to do with these tools, and I'm going to use the Park Tool one to demonstrate here, because this is actually the tool I prefer to use myself. I'm going to slot the tool in between, so this end goes in between the outer links, this one in the inner plates, and then I'm literally just going to take up the slack. So straight away, that gives me, there's a little window in the top of the tool here, which gives me a reading. It says 0.25 at the moment, which is as I would expect, because this is a very new bike and a very new chain. That goes from 0 to 1, so that's a 1% wear rate. Most manufacturers would recommend that you change your chain after about 0.75. You're really definitely going to be doing some damage to the other components. So yeah, once you go over 0.5% wear, and certainly by 0.75, you need to be looking to change your chain. And the benefit of that is it's going to, as I said at the start of the video, save you a load of cash, because if you're riding around on a worn chain, you're going to be doing so much more damage to the sprockets on your cassette and your chainring teeth. And if you end up having to replace that whole drivetrain, you're looking at a significant outlay. Whereas chains are relatively inexpensive, so you could maybe replace 2, 3, 4 chains over a period of time and still be using the same cassette and chain rings if you're doing it well and you're keeping on top of cleaning after riding, and also lubing your chain properly and so on. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. This little tool, which costs about 30 quid, could pay for itself over and over again if it's just helping you, every time you clean your bike or whatever, get into the routine of just popping that tool on, having a look, okay, that's how worn it is at the moment, and there you go. Simple as that. Now, if you don't have a tool, there is also another way which you can use to sort of visually see how worn your chain is, and that's simply to try and pull the chain away from the teeth. When it's in the big chain ring, at this point here, the furthest point along of the drivetrain, if you try and pull that chain off and just have a look to see how much daylight you create in the sort of tooth profile of the chainring. And what that tells me, a very worn chain, and I'll demonstrate this with another bike in a minute that's got a slightly more worn chain on it, but you'll be able to see a lot more daylight here. And yeah, that's a really good indicator straight away that your chain needs to be replaced. But obviously it's not quite so accurate as having a tool that's going to give you very precise reading on the wear. But yeah, definitely if you don't have the tool, that's a really good technique to use as well. Okay, so the first scenario, we could see there wasn't a lot of wear to that chain. I'm going to show you just for comparison what a chain with a little bit more wear is going to look like. So if I put my gauge into this chain, and again, slide till the slack comes out, huge difference. This one, the gauge has gone all the way to its maximum, and actually it's still not fully tight in the link. So this chain is way overdue replacement. It's showing some serious signs of wear. But that would be good to visually show you what I was talking about as well at this end with regards to being able to see chain wear without using the tool. If I now do the same as I did before and try and pull the chain away from the rings at this end, you'll be able to see now a lot more visible daylight. And yeah, that's just an indicator. As you can see the difference. Could barely pull the chain away at all on the drivetrain that wasn't worn. Now I can see plenty of clear daylight. And in fact, on a really worn chain, you'd definitely be able to almost pull that away from the tooth completely. So yeah, that's just a good comparison to show you what drivetrain wear will look like. But certainly this chain is well in need of replacement.